Cholerics versus Sanguines. By this point in my Wired series podcast, you are probably catching on that the four temperaments are quite contrasting. In this podcast, we are going to dig a little deeper and compare cholerics and sanguines by examining 7 specific areas. Each of these areas is divided into 2 categories. Interestingly enough, cholerics and sanguines share 5 of the 7 categories, but the character traits of each temperament create a very different response. It is not important to actually know the names of the 7 areas. Instead, I want you to focus your energy on trying to identify your behavior within the descriptions. To assist, I created a simple outline titled 7 Areas and posted it to my website, thriveintherealworld.com, under the Downloads tab. Use this outline to document your selections, taking notes when you hear specific descriptions that actually represent you. It's kind of like an a la carte method of further connecting the dots to discovering who you really are. Let's begin with the first area labeled openness. Its 2 categories are expressive and reserved. Cholerics and sanguines are both expressive, openly sharing their thoughts. Cholerics, who are never afraid to speak their minds, will boldly confront anyone who is out of line and forcefully try to put a stop to any wrongdoing. They believe control and influence over the world will make themselves known. Sanguines rarely keep any thoughts to themselves, and therefore, everyone knows what a sanguine is thinking. They are attention seekers to the point of showing off, typically using a booming voice and loud laugh to make their presence known. Sanguines will charm others into doing the work for them and are very animated when speaking. The second area is labeled recharge, and its 2 categories are introverts and extroverts. Sanguines and cholerics are both extroverts, recharging their energy by being with or around people and away from their home base. Cholerics gain energy by surrounding themselves with other people so that they can be superior to them. They aim to rise above the crowd, lead by delegation, and thrive on being an authority figure. Sanguines are energized when around people who enjoy having a good time. They hate being alone and are easily bored when not involved in social interaction. They avoid taking life too seriously and instead focus on what's fun. The third area is labeled reactions, and its 2 categories are quick versus slow. Cholerics and sanguines both respond to a situation or event quickly. Swift actions and quick decisions allow cholerics the ability to seize opportunities before others have a chance. They are excellent in emergency situations. Cholerics have short fuses, and if challenged, they will snap before their dominance is threatened. Sanguines quickly adapt to changing environments and are spontaneous with their thoughts and behaviors. They will bounce from person to person and topic to topic to keep things interesting for themselves. They quickly make friends, yet can be naive to those who shouldn't be trusted. The fourth area is labeled outlook, and its 2 categories are optimistic and pessimistic. Both cholerics and sanguines have a positive point of view, making them optimists. Cholerics are not afraid of failure because they are confident that they will succeed. They see obstacles as opportunities to overcome and are certain that they can and will achieve all their goals. Sanguines avoid thinking of bad or sad things and will turn a crisis into a comedy as a coping mechanism. They fantasize about what could be, while firmly believing that all their dreams will come true. Even when faced with tricky situations, sanguines are confident that everything will all work out in the end. The 5th area is labeled reflection, and its 2 categories are high self-esteem and low self-esteem. Cholerics and sanguines have a positive image of their abilities and self-worth, and therefore have a high self-esteem. There is no doubt in a choleric's mind that he or she is the alpha in the room. Although they come across as arrogant and prideful, cholerics honestly believe they are always right. in addition to being stronger, tougher, and better than anyone else. Sanguines thrive on compliments and are electrifying on a stage. They love to show off their many talents, believing they are excellent at everything they do. Charismatic and persuasive, a sanguine can easily encourage others to join. They become stressed if they are not liked or included, so being popular bodes well for them. The sixth area is labeled emotions, and its two categories are emotional and unemotional. Cholerics refrain from revealing their feelings, while sanguines freely display theirs. To a choleric, emotions are a sign of weakness, and crying is for wimps. A poker face is the natural expression of the unemotional choleric. However, they are likely to display rage when defied and express joy when their enemies are humiliated. Sanguines, on the other hand, frequently show their emotions openly and dramatically, which can be a little too much for some people. On cloud nine 1 minute and down in the dumps the next, sanguines are a roller coaster of emotions. They can go from laughing to crying to telling jokes and then throwing a pity party, all in the same setting. The seventh and final area is labeled duration, and its two categories are long and short. Choleric's attitude towards something or someone continues for a prolonged period of time, while sanguine's time frame is fleeting. Cholerics acknowledge their time-honored friendships and always keep their long-standing promises. They never forget their enemies or rivals, and anyone who exerts wrongdoing on a choleric will deeply regret it for a lengthy amount of time. Sanguines live in the moment and look for adventure. They have restless energy and are easily distracted, especially if a task or a project is no longer fun or challenging. They frequently interrupt and tend to dominate conversations, fleeing from any topic that gets too deep or too serious. This completes part 1 of the 7 areas. It is equally important to listen to part 2, which compares phlegmatics and melancholies. Even if you don't identify with either of these two temperaments, you might discover that one or more of their behavioral definitions describe you, or at the very least, someone you know.